that I've had my eviction notice and knowing that my baby's literally going to be a month old and we've got nowhere
What the hell is that on your neck?
to go. I went out to the door to see if I'd had a delivery, but instead of having the delivery, I had this letter. So this basically means that the bailiffs are going to come to the house. I'll have like an hour to collect my belongings, and then I'll have to take that to the council.
Personal trainer and single mother of 2 on maternity leave from work. Unable to afford the rent increase. Served her a full of no eviction notice.
I've banged my head against a brick wall for months, trying to get help because I didn't want to be in this position with a newborn baby. But here I am with a newborn baby, about to have a month-old and going to the council.
It's not only being on maternity leave that has Dawn struggling to afford a new place.
My mum passed away last November.
Oh, here comes the sob story, guys. Here comes the sob story.
I had to find £3,500.
Look at the hair color. Look at the state of this. I mean, bright orange hair, looking like a cartoon character. Looking like Peter Griffin's wife.
To pay for a funeral. My mum was bipolar and she also was an alcoholic. So when things were bad, it was...
Wow. You hear that? Let me play that again.
Was bipolar and she also was
Bipolar?
an alcoholic.
Alcoholic.
So when things were bad, it was almost like...
And you wonder why your life's a mess.
It was a very chaotic household. So we moved houses loads. My mum had loads of different jobs, different friends, There was always change in our life. And again, another reason
Bipolar alcoholic should not be having kids.
why I'm so like praying.
And you shouldn't be either.
I don't have to move my son's school. And it's not because I'm trying to be funny and it's not because I'm trying to be a pain in the bum. I'm just trying to keep structure and I don't
What structure? You're a single mother. What structure you think you're gonna have? Where's the daddy?
want to change things for him that I don't have to.
The bailiffs will be evicting Dawn in just 8 days, but in the meantime, she's been busy trying to bid for a more permanent council house. Dawn needs a minimum of 2 beds, and the house needs to be dog-friendly.
I am not moving
Look at that big ugly dog.
anywhere without my dog. That is like saying getting rid of a child.
No, it's not. Don't compare that ugly dog to a child. Look at you putting that big ugly dog around your child. That shows your concern, right?
And I think it's a human
Another hair
right
change.
for us to be able to have something like a pet
Yeah, it's a human right to have a pet. See, that shows how dumb you are.
if we want to. So there is a house. It's quite far away though, but I'm only position 15, so I wouldn't get that. There's another house. I'm position 212.
You shouldn't be getting diddly squat in my view.
I'm number 4 on this. It's a high-rise flat, which is floor 10, which is also no dogs allowed, and it's in Cradley Heath, which is so far away. And then the last house on there, I'm a position 175. Everything's so vague and so unknown, like you really, really don't know. You don't know whether you're coming or going. It's so annoying. It's crazy. I've got to get so much done. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be put in a 1-bed flat, which I've got.
That's what you should have been put in the first place.
Share a bedroom now with my 2 children, which is half an hour away from my son's school. Oh, God. So I've got to get a newborn baby ready and my son ready for school and drive like half an hour every day. I just don't know
First world problems.
how that's going to be realistic. I'm going to have to sort her out.
That kid ain't got no chance.
Even worse for Dawn is what happens to her beloved dog, Rhythm.
Obviously, she won't be
Get rid of the mutt.
with you, won't she?
No, she's not allowed to go to the temporary accommodation.
Look at this loser. Look at this dude. Look at the problem that you created. See, this is why when I talk about loser men, this is what they create. They can't create. Why are you having kids with a bipolar alcoholic? And you think that's going to end well? No, that's not going to end well. Why don't you house this Dawn, Mr. Daniel? Why don't you house her? I mean, but that's what they do in the second and third world. They don't just give properties away to single mothers. No, they gotta live with their parents until they can afford to move out. But see, they're creating a housing crisis because what you've got now, you've got a single mother with the kids, and then you've got the father living in separate housing. So that's also creating a housing problem as well.
Yeah, my friend's looking after her for me. I couldn't put her in like a, like a boarding home or anything like that. She's too used to being with me. She's 9 now, she's old.
Yeah.
You're an old girl, aren't you? Yeah.
Look at that.
She's not going to understand what's going on, is she? She's just going to be like, oh my God, my mum's abandoned me. And I don't know how long that's going to be for.
With her 3-week-old baby in tow, she's on her way to view the temporary accommodation the local council has assigned her. It could be anything from a flat in
Yeah, stick her in there.
a high-rise to a single room in a B&B or hotel. The only choice Dawn gets is between whatever she's offered and homelessness.
Am I supposed to feel bad?
So we've got a little bathroom, which has only got a shower. However, at least I've got my own bathroom. So that's a bonus, I guess. I'm trying to see the positives here. This is a pull-out bed, apparently, but I'm not sure how it... Oh God, it's really heavy.
Look at that
I can't
dusty
do it.
thing.
Fuck's sake. That's really annoying. How am I going to do that every night? I'm not going to be able to. How the hell does this work? Oh.
But they don't need a man, right?
Look how dirty that is. Oh my God, that is actually disgusting. It should have been cleaned. It's got tobacco and everything on it. It's fucking vile.
Poor kid.
It's just not right.
The accommodation is pretty well kitted out, but for Dawn, who has always worked and never depended on the council for housing before, this is a real adjustment.
People are like, oh, just get private rent. Oh, stop telling me to get private rent. Sorry. I can't get a private rent. I can't afford it while I'm on maternity leave. And it's just unrealistic, and I'd end up putting myself in debt.
I told you guys it's gonna all end in tears. I told you guys years ago these single mothers are gonna be punished for their sins in this upcoming economy. I told you guys that years ago at the beginning of the pandemic. I knew what was coming. These single mothers are being punished. They're being punished for what they've done over the years.
Or I'd end up messing the landlord around and not being able to pay and stuff, and that's not fair. So I'm doing what?
They love to act like they're such good people when they don't have empathy. If you had empathy, you wouldn't be bringing kids into a messed up situation. But you see, you don't think about that because you're dumb.
Is like the sensible thing, but it's just frustrating that I'm now in a little 1-bed flat.
And who caused that? You caused that.
Because I'm not able to get in the private sector. It's just
Well, stop having bastard kids then.
so frustrating. I was saying as well, like, it's good that it's got like a secure door and the CCTV. Like, I do try and think about the positives, but it's just not home, is it? Like, I'd like to be able to go somewhere to make it home, and I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. And I don't know how long that's still going to be a reality for me.
The opposite gender always like to cry when they got their
And
problems.
that's what's upsetting, really.
Why you got so many nose rings?
I'm just going from one unknown situation to another,
Your eyelashes look like they're falling off.
really. Sorry.
Eviction day.
The nightmare scenario will be if Dawn refuses to leave the property, then the bailiffs will have to carry out the eviction forcefully.
4 miles away, Dawn is in a cafe. She spent the night in temporary accommodation.
Let's look at the house, right? So this is a house that she's being evicted from. First of all, that house is way too good for a single mother. You know, a single mother shouldn't be living in that kind of house, especially, you know, look, that's about where I live. That's about, I'd say, $500,000 to 600 grand. I'd say probably. I don't know. I'm not into real estate like that, but I'd say that's definitely over $500,000 where I live.
The bailiffs are going to be at my door, changing the locks as far as I'm aware. They go to the house, check each room, make sure that you've got rid of your belongings and, all of that stuff. Definitely relieved, because I don't think I would have enjoyed having to see the baby
Those eyelashes look terrible.
lift, although they could have been really lovely people, you know.
The hair color looks terrible too.
I'm just assuming
And of
here
course the
that
tattoos.
they would have been like, get out. So rather than having to experience something like that, which I've never experienced before, I'm glad that I didn't have to.
Thank you very much. Take care. He's inside, yeah? He's just the door there. Thank you.
Now Ansar and the landlord's cousin need to give the house a once-over.
We look like the bad guys, don't we? We're here to kick a family out, so as you can imagine, it's not very good. Until the government finds a solution,
Oh, is that guy pretending like he has
it's going
sympathy?
to keep happening up and down the country. It's the same everywhere at the moment.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. I think the whole system is completely flawed. Obviously, there needs to be a process that is fair for everyone, but I
No, nothing's fair for everyone. That's just fantasy.
don't feel like this process is fair for anybody. Me experiencing this eviction, I'm now more aware of how bad things are. Because it's shone a massive light on the fact that, you know, there isn't enough houses. And there isn't enough
Yeah, there's not enough houses because single mothers like you always want these housing instead of getting married like normal people. Instead of getting married like normal people and having kids after you are in a stable relationship and you've got some cash about you. That's also creating a housing problem, dummy.
help out there. There isn't enough advice either.
Come on, mate, let's go.
End goal is having a nice home and making it lovely for the children.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
And having, you know, a settled life and not waiting for a landlord to give me a Section 21. But yeah, in the short period, I think I'm going to be a little bit apprehensive and a little bit anxious until that happens, really.
After she'd been in temporary accommodation for 6 weeks, Dawn was offered a 2-bedroom flat by the council. But by then, she'd had a massive rethink about her future, inspired by a recent trip to Wales.
So I moved to Pembrokeshire when I was about 15. I went to school in Pembrokeshire. My mum stayed in Pembrokeshire. That's where my mum passed away. Obviously, when my mum was alive, I'd stay with my mum.
The BBC want us to feel sorry for these single mothers.
But then obviously since she's passed, I've had to like find other means of being able to go home. And that was actually really hard at first. Going home and not having your home anymore was really hard. Sorry.
So, Dawn has made a huge decision.
I'd thought about a few times about going back to Pembrokeshire. I decided to call them and ask what my options were. So yeah, I went online and I filled in an online form to start the ball rolling for, you know, the bidding essentially. And on the online form as well, I was allowed to put my dog, which I was just thrilled about.
Oh, these dog lovers really get on my nerves. Sofa surfing in Wales whilst waiting to be housed. Look at that. What a joke. Hopes one day to buy a place of her own. Never gonna happen. You can't buy one now, you ain't gonna buy one in the future. It's getting tougher and tougher. Less and less people are gonna own homes. You dummies need to understand that your situation ain't just gonna magically get better here in the Western world. But anyway, that's the video. It's on Roma here, Truth and Matters. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you aren't already. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you're informed every time I upload a new video.